Hey there, everybody! It is I, the Gentleman Snark, here, once again, give you another One Piece chapter review. I apologize for a bit of the delay. I was busy with my associate DJ Mary, but that's neither there. Anyways, let's get right into this chapter. We are dealing with One Piece chapter 823, A World Buzz. So, obviously, as we already know, we picked off from last chapter. We were already talking about how Princess Vivi seemed to be on her way out to sea. In this chapter, we also get to know, reveal that they're all going to the river. And not just her, a lot of big major players in the royal family, and also some familiar faces from past adventures for the Straw Hats are also going to be taking part of this monumentous event that's being catered by the world government. What the world government wants to talk about, it could be anybody's guess, but what really piques my interest was in the beginning, where we have Vivi just being Vivi. We also have her father, the king, is also discussing how he wants to talk to the world government, kind of about the secret of the world history. What exactly lifts me? What exactly is supposed to decode? What is the secret history? And what really makes me a bit skeptical about him doing it, because we already see that her father, that Princess Vivi's father, is already in bad health as it is already. So it makes me wonder, if he brings this up to the world government, especially with potentially all the other royal families there, would this probably kind of lead to his death? Are we seeing a potential death flag? Because remember back in the Marineford arc, we also had one of the Shichibukai that was basically eliminated. And remember, the name of the Shichibukai at the time was Greco Moria. He got this pretty much executed, and Doflamingo at the time said that the reason for why Greco Moria was being executed at that time because somebody even higher than the fleet admiral kind of orchestrated it. So it makes me wonder, if Vivi's father brings up the poneglyphs and what exactly is the world history in the reverie, will that same person that's on top lead to his potential death and execution? It's a lot of speculations here. I'm really curious to see what exactly that's going to bring. And speaking of another face here, now a lot of people, I'm not sure if a lot of people caught this, noticed this at all, but we also get to see a princess of the Goa Kingdom called, Queen of Goa Kingdom called Sally Tucket. Yes, Sally Nantucket is the Queen of Goa Kingdom. For those of you who do not know who or what the Goa King is, Goa Kingdom is basically the island that Ace and Luffy and Sabo grow up when they were kids, and it's the same island where Sabo didn't want any part of anywhere at all, because they tried to burn down basically the unsavory parts, air quotes, of the kingdom. So they literally lit it on fire, nearly killing Luffy and Ace and pretty much all the other inhabitants of the trash area. So very interesting there. Now, I say this is very relevant because we see that the servants are associating and addressing King Stelly, and for those who don't remember, that silhouette, the hairstyle, I'm not sure about you, but I want to call out and call that's Sabo's adoptive brother. Now, for those of you who also don't remember, back in when they had the big flashback introducing Sabo, when Sabo kind of ran away to hang out with Ace and Luffy in the trash area of Goa Kingdom, his parents kind of adopted a replacement kid for him, because they figured that Sabo was either dead or just never come back. So I'm willing to go out on a limb that is his adoptive brother that's also going to be taking part of the reverie. And once again, his name is King Stelly. So like I said, I'm going to be calling that. I'm pretty sure that is his adoptive brother. Not sure exactly what this could potentially mean, but this raises a lot of question that whatever is going to go on in the reverie is huge, because we see a lot, not only many royal authorities from other kingdoms, but many from familiar places as well. We have West Blue Kano country, which also is the kingdom of where Don King Zhao resides from as well. So, and not only that, we also get to see Dr. Kuriha from the Sakura Kingdom, who was also mentoring Chopper to become a great doctor at the time in the past. We get to see her that she's going to be a doctor on the ship for the royal family as they go to the reverie. So, like I said, a lot of familiar faces here. I'm wondering what whatever's going to take place on is very big. Speaking of what's going to take place, I really am wondering if what's going to take place in the reverie could be potentially the consequences of what Doflamingo had done in Dressrosa. Could this be a cover-up per se, or are they going to be gearing up for war? What exactly is going to be going on here? And speaking of Dressrosa, we also get to see that Viola, Rebecca, and Mancherry are also going to be joining King Riku towards the reverie. And King Riku is also going to be joining King Isabello II, who was part of the Colosseum fights within the Dressrosa. So yeah, this seems to be going to be calling attention to a lot of the crimes that happen within Dressrosa. And more importantly, since we have King Isabella II, that's also going to be taking part of the reverie, isn't he also technically, quote unquote, part of the Luffy alliance or the Luffy's fleet in a sense? So whatever is going to happen within the kingdom, it makes me wonder that kind of information is going to be circulated, and eventually the Straw Hats are going to figure out what exactly the world government is going to be up to. Whether it's going to be a giant cover-up or whether they really are gearing for war, maybe even against them, who knows at this point. Because the Straw Hats have really been growing into kind of an annoyance that the world government really at this point. They took down another Shichibukai, so their infamies just keep on growing more. And another interesting thing that we get to see is we get to see kind of the aftermath of the Fishman Island arc. We get to see that King Neptune and Shirahoshi and even her brothers are also going to be part of the reverie. Because we get a bit of a backstory of what happened after the events of the Fishman arc, after Luffy managed to save the island and everything, is that after that, they apparently did get enough signatures to be acknowledged by the world government, like as an actual country, like as an actual royal family here. So very interesting to see that they kind of made a lot of progression, because when we first went to Fishman Island, it was stuck with a lot of, pretty much stock racism and speciesism. And to see that it came so far to the point where they're actually acknowledged by the world government, it's very lovely to see that it's made some very good strides in progression here. But without further ado, we're going to focus, the rest of the chapter really focuses on Luffy's party here, which basically has most of them except Luffy, pretty much weak at the knees since Luffy decided to free fall off of Zoe, which very amusing there, so pretty much everybody's still annoyed at that. But one interesting thing that we do get to see is that a lot of people speculate that we will get to see Rabbit Carrot in last week's chapter, and in this week's chapter, it is also confirmed that we do get to see Carrot that's also going to be joining Luffy's party, so very nice thing to see there. The main perspective, the reason why Carrot was definitely going to join was because they're all going to be going to, I believe, Whole Cake Island, which is the main base of operations for Big Mom. And a lot of people have suggested that Whole Cake Island kind of resembles a bit of Alice in Wonderland in a way. So kind of having Carrot there, not be there, would kind of be a disservice to kind of the symbolism in a way, which also is kind of a throwback because she also states, that Carrot also states within the chapter that the sea is kind of a wonderful wonderland in a sense. So if that's the case, it makes me wonder whether Carrot's role within the whole Rescue Sanji arc is pretty big in this. So a lot of people are pretty much surprised. Luffy, obviously, he doesn't mind it since she's here anyways. He doesn't really care. Like, she can stay as much as she wants. We also get to see how she nearly bites off, Luffy's radial artery on his neck as he eats one of her carrots. So, very violent there, but easily being able to, called off by petting her on the head. One thing I want to see if it's upset. But, slight deviation there. So, we have a new party member that's going to be cited in Rescuing Sun. I'm very curious to see where Carrot's role is going to be within this chapter. I'm suspecting that a decent sized one because, like I said, the symbolism between Alice in Wonderland is kind of strong in this one. So hopefully, maybe we might even see Carrot get into a fight because I believe it was Pedro that was saying that she's a lot stronger than she looks, especially since she nearly took out Luffy in an instant. So that's only happened in maybe various senses. Now, I'm not saying Carrot can take on Luffy in a straight up fight, definitely not. But in a surprise attack, she definitely got his number. So with all that said and done, I believe that comes chapter close. Pretty much just a lot of familiar faces and royal family are going to be joining the reverie, and we also have a new member in Luffy's party that's going to be joining in Rescuing Sanji. So that's it for the chapter, or so you would think, until Pedro gets some news by the seagulls, and apparently within the newspaper we learn that in Baltigo the hidden headquarters of the Revolutionary Army is in ruins. Now, for those of you who don't remember, in a couple chapters back, after Luffy defeated Doflamingo, we see that Jesus Burgess was barely hanging on to life as he was trying to call for backup, and he conveniently found the headquarters for the Revolutionary Army. So yeah, whatever went down, something big definitely went down. And I believe also in that chapter that Dragon was in the midst of also trying to gather his own, one of the main members of the Revolutionary Army. So I kind of find this to be a good parallel. So while the world government is gathering the main kingdoms, the main nobility of all over the world to discuss some important matters. I found it was an interesting parallel that way back that Dragon was also able to, get one of the main leaders of the Revolutionary Army to discuss some serious business. So basically, this is not just the world government. Even the Revolutionary Army is feeling that something big is definitely coming. Something big is definitely on the way here. Unfortunately, in this case, Dragon's little meeting kind of may have been put on hold, maybe even permanently. I doubt he's dead though. He's definitely still alive. So, now we don't exactly know the contents of what happened. We don't even know if Blackbeard even made it onto the battle himself, that he was the one that caused it. Now, I definitely want to say that Blackbeard's crew did cause all that chaos, but I'm not sure if Blackbeard made an appearance himself. We do know for a fact though that Dragon himself was there, and even Sabo himself was there. So maybe we might get it. I doubt it, because we know how Oda likes to play with his cliffhanger. So I highly doubt in the next chapter we'll get to see exactly what went on. I'm hoping, I really do, because especially after that One Piece anime episode where we got to look at how Sabo really grew in the ranks of the Revolutionary Army. I really do hope that we get to see exactly what happened. What exactly happened? What caused this chaos? Like, is Dragon okay? Is the rest of are the rest of the heads of the Revolutionary Army okay? Because I highly doubt this is the end of the Revolutionary Army, because it's too vast and big of an organization to be taken down that easily, in a sense, if you understand what I'm saying. So I want to say there are more headquarters there. They have a backup hideout and all that kind of stuff, but it makes me wonder what exactly is the collateral damage here. Like, what do they gain to lose? Did they manage to get any work done? Because like I said, it's an interesting parallel, because the world government is bringing out all these big heads to discuss something major. Dragon was already ahead of the curve and tried to do before them, but he just got interrupted. And it also makes me wonder, will something similar, not exactly, but similar happen within the world government? Because I already discussed that this could also be that the whole reverie is already potentially about what Doflamingo did in Dressrosa, because we have King Riku and King Isabella II that are also going to be joining the reverie, and they experienced firsthand the lies and deceit that happened in the Dressrosa kingdom. So best believe they're definitely going to have to address this with the rest of the heads of the world. Not to mention, we also have Princess Vivi's father is also going to be discussing the poneglyphs and the secrets of the world here, which I don't want to say it will lead to his death, but based on what's been going, a lot of shady stuff has been happening in the world government. We might see his death, and he's already on low health to begin with. So that's just a little bit of theories and speculations on my end. So once again, that's One Piece chapter 823, A World Buzz. And trust me, the world really is going to be buzzing after they got. So yes, once again, I am the Gentleman Snark. I really do hope you enjoyed this One Piece chapter review. As always, feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. And also follow us at @meetswest for more interesting otaku and nerd news here. So without further ado, I'll bid you all adieu. So see you guys.